Did you know the moon can laugh? Not like humans, but a quiet, glowing chuckle that makes the night sky feel safe and happy. One night, the moon lost its laugh and the world below didn't know what to do. In the quietest part of the forest, where the moss grows soft as a blanket and the fireflies dance like tiny stars, lived a little fox named Luma. Had fur the color of a sunset, a tail as fluffy as a cloud, and eyes that sparkled with curiosity. Every night, before she curled up to sleep, she would look up at the big, bright moon. The moon was her best friend. She loved the way it smiled down, its gentle light making the whole forest shimmer and glow. But one night, something was wrong. The moon was high in the sky, round and full, but its usual happy glow was gone. It looked sad. The forest felt different too, hushed and a little bit lonely. Luma sat on her favorite hill, tilting her head. "Moon," she whispered, "why aren't you smiling tonight? Your light feels so heavy." A soft, sighing sound drifted down from the sky. A tiny, tear-shaped star slid down a moonbeam and landed right on Luma's nose. "The moon has lost its laugh." The little star twinkled sadly. "It just slipped away. Now the sky feels empty without it." Luma's ears drooped. The moon without its laugh was like a river without its song, or a flower without its scent. It just wasn't right. "Lost its laugh?" she asked. "How can you lose a laugh?" "It happens," the star sighed. "Sometimes, when you hold in your worries, your laugh gets pushed out. And now it's floating somewhere in the night, all alone." Luma's heart filled with a brave idea. She couldn't imagine a world where the moon didn't laugh. "Then I will find it," she declared, her tail giving a determined flick. "I will bring the moon's laugh back." The little star twinkled with hope. "How will you do that?" Luma thought for a moment. "What makes someone laugh?" "Stories. Silly stories, happy stories, stories full of surprises." "I will tell the moon a story," she said. "A story so good, its laugh will have to come back to listen." And so Luma's quest began. She took a deep breath and looked up at the sad, silent moon. "Once upon a time," she began, her voice soft but clear, "there was a squirrel who was afraid of heights. His name was Squeaky, and he lived at the very bottom of the tallest oak tree. All the other squirrels would scamper up to the highest branches to gather the best acorns, but Squeaky just shivered at the thought." Luma described how Squeaky tried everything to be brave. He wore a tiny acorn helmet. He tried bouncing on a mushroom to get a head start. He even asked a caterpillar for climbing tips, but the caterpillar just wiggled its eyebrows and kept munching on a leaf. The forest creatures, listening in, began to giggle. Up in the sky, a faint glimmer appeared near the moon. It was a tiny, shimmering wisp, like a bubble of light. It was the moon's laugh, drawn in by the silly tail. Luma saw it, and her heart leaped. It was working. She continued her story with even more enthusiasm. One day, she said, Squeaky saw the biggest, most perfect acorn he had ever seen, right at the very top of the tree. It was shiny and plump. His tummy rumbled so loudly it sounded like a tiny bear cub snoring. He just had to have it. Forgetting he was scared, he closed his eyes and just started climbing. Luma mimicked Squeaky's frantic scramble, her paws pattering on the ground. He went up and up, his little heart thumping like a drum. When he finally opened his eyes, he was at the top. The whole forest spread out below him like a green quilt. And there was his perfect acorn. But just as he reached for it, a clumsy blue jay named Jasper swooped by and knocked it right off the branch. The wisp of light in the sky quivered, growing a little brighter. It was listening. The acorn tumbled down, down, Luma, narrated her voice full of drama. It bounced off a branch, bopped a grumpy badger on the nose, who woke up very confused, and finally, it rolled right into Squeaky's front door at the bottom of the tree. Squeaky scrambled all the way back down, and there it was waiting for him. He realized he had climbed the whole tree and wasn't scared at all. He didn't even need the acorn anymore because he had found his courage instead. From then on, he was the best climber in the forest, all because of a clumsy blue jay and a falling acorn. As Luma finished, a soft chuckle echoed through the trees. The wisp of light floated closer to the moon, now glowing with a happy golden light. It was a beautiful sound. Luma knew she had to keep going. "Okay, Moon, here's another one," she said, wagging her tail. "This is the story of two firefly brothers, Flicker and Flash. Flicker loved to make beautiful, steady patterns in the sky. But Flash was a bit of a trickster. Instead of glowing, he loved to blink. Luma described how Flash would blink in funny rhythms. He'd blink out the beat to a woodpecker's drumming. He'd blink in a zigzag pattern to copy a water strider. The other fireflies found it very distracting. "You're ruining our grand constellation." They'd buzz at him. One night, Luma went on. A little lost owlet couldn't find its way back to its nest. It was too dark to see, and the owlet was hooting sadly. All the fireflies tried to help by shining their lights, but it was just a big, confusing glow. Then Flash had an idea. He flew in front of the owlet and started to blink a path. Blink, blink, like a little landing strip, right back to the owlet's nest. The wisp of the moon's laugh danced and spun. It was giggling now, a sound like tiny bells. The owlet followed the blinking lights all the way home. Luma finished. After that, all the fireflies realized that being different was wonderful. They made Flash their official trail blinker, and every night he'd lead lost critters home with his silly, blinking light. The moon's laugh was now a bright, joyful ball of energy, swirling with delight. It floated right up to the edge of the moon, almost touching it. Luma knew she just needed one more story, the best one yet. She took a deep breath. "This last story," she said, her voice filled with warmth, "is about a little fox with fur the color of sunset. Her very best friend was the big, beautiful moon. Every night, the fox would tell the moon about her day. She'd tell the moon about the sweet taste of wild berries, the funny way the rabbits hopped, and the sound of the wind whispering through the pines." Luma looked up. her sparkling eyes meeting the moon's gaze. The moon would listen, and its light would grow warmer and brighter with every word. The fox believed the moon's light was made of all the happy stories and secrets of the world, and the fox loved the moon more than all the acorns in the forest, more than all the fish in the river. She paused, and the forest was completely still. But one day she said softly, the moon lost its laugh, and the little fox was so sad she knew she had to get it back. So she sat on her hill and told story after story, hoping her voice could reach her friend in the sky. She told silly stories and brave stories, all to remind the moon of the joy in the world. Because a world without the moon's laugh, well, it just wouldn't be the same. But as Luma spoke the last words, the beautiful, shimmering ball of light finally floated forward and melted back into the moon. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a soft, gentle light began to spread. It grew brighter and warmer until the entire forest was bathed in a magnificent, silvery glow. And then came the sound. It started as a low rumble and grew into a full, hearty, wonderful laugh that echoed through the night sky. It was the moon's laugh, happy and whole again. The light twinkled and danced, as if the moon itself was wiggling with joy. The tiny star on Luma's nose did a little somersault. "You did it," it chirped. Luma felt a wave of happiness wash over her. She looked up at her friend, now beaming brighter than ever before. "Welcome back," she whispered. A gentle moonbeam shone down, wrapping around her like a warm hug. It was the moon's way of saying thank you. From that night on, Luma the fox was known as the keeper of the moon's laugh. Every night, she would sit on her hill and tell a story, just to make sure her best friend in the sky never, ever forgot how to laugh again. And as you drift off to sleep tonight, if you listen very, very closely, you might just hear the moon chuckling softly and a little fox whispering, "Good night, sweet dreams."